average hit. Sure, he can't critical things to death, but he can, like, sometimes surety hit things for like 1500 damage with a follow-up attack, which is wild. Like, that costs zero resources and just pops so much damage off. So I don't think ninjas are really power creep at all, for a multitude of reasons. Now, we'll see if that stays true with samurai. Like, if they give samurai the ability to dual wield swords, for instance, that would be pretty crazy. Like, even corrosive dagger is kind of hard to get hold of. But yeah, she can be back row with daggers, like with supporting daggers. She can be front row with a lot of evasion and kind of like tank, but you have to give up a lot of attack stat to do that. Unless you have, I don't know, the most unreasonable gear ever and somehow have insane evasion and insane attack. That's why I keep saying I'm really impressed with their levels of power creep so far. They've kept it very chill. All of the units they brought out, all of the like units of the same class they brought out have all been, you know, like adjacent or worse than the base units. And Rene, like ninjas, did not power creep anywhere near as much as I thought they would. Don't get me wrong, I love Rene. I love my Rene, and I have a blast playing with her. I think she's super fun. But she doesn't feel like super insano strong so much that it's pointless to bring anything else by any means. Like, I feel like I could put a Benius or something in my back line, or even Deborah, like a bowed up Deborah, and they could do good damage as well. It's mostly just the AoE that I'm getting, and that's only because I'm a special case where I don't run a mage. I don't think other people would maybe even rate Moment of Finality as highly as I do, just because of my weird little meme situation. My party composition. Yeah, we'll see with Samurai. Yeah, absolutely. I'd need Deborah copies, and then that would be taken away from SP gain on other things. But I've used 4 Deborahs on Rene, so I guess I could have used those Deborahs at the very least on a Deborah. If I had not pulled Rene. Not that I have any regrets pulling Rene at all. The most powerful thing that I have seen a ninja do, other than like random little critical hits there and there, they're nice, but they're random. The most powerful thing I've seen a ninja do is the fact that it can get rid of the Cyclops buff, and presumably some really annoying other buffs in the future. If it can take off concentration buffs, things that make things go wild, like Gessie's underwater buffs as well, it takes those. That ability is really good, and like probably quite future-proofed as well. We have no other dispels in the game. Rene being weaker than Kiraha due to lack of discipline for most players. Yep, I agree. The more I've played this game, the more appreciation I have for the general adventurers, and I think for most players, they should honestly be looking at some of the general adventurers over some of the legendary units. The base legendary units are one thing, because you will eventually get loads of those legendary units from like legendary bones, from random pulls, off banners. Like, you're bound to get those adventurers eventually. You'll get them up to like Discipline 3 or Discipline 5. Both of those are reasonable stopping points for those characters anyway. And they'll be strong, because all of the base characters are strong. But the general characters, like, they are going to be able to get to max discipline. You will be able to raise them to max discipline. And if you compare that to the banner units that we're getting, things like Savia and stuff like that, yeah, like Savia looks cool. She's got a great voice. Her kit's kind of underwhelming, and reasonably you could just run, I don't know, anything, like any general adventurer over her. You could run Kiraha in the back row over her if you're running her with the spear in the back row, and Kiraha is gonna outperform the living fuck out of her, to be honest. He can't do the evasion shenanigans, but he can just truck stuff. If you don't have kunais, then it's a bit harder, but like eventually you'll be able to. Yeah, like there's other factors with legendary characters. There's like future things that can happen to them, like class change scrolls can really change can really power up a character, like we've been talking about Redbeard getting like fighter class or something, Savia getting like Valkyrie class or something like that would be amazing. Even just getting fighter class would probably make her considerably better, because she can taunt stuff while not in Knight, which would make her quite unique. She would have the fighter scaling but still be able to taunt stuff like a Knight can, which I think would be pretty cool just as a fighter, to be honest. But yeah, sure, like Valkyrie or something would be amazing. Then Redbeard, like being able to having about 4 to 5 casts of his buff while being an actual fighting class would make him so much more viable than what he's doing right now. But yeah, like Kiriha's gonna blow any backliner out of the water because he's evil for Alice. As long as you can get its kunais. Make Ranger. It depends what they do with Ranger, really, doesn't it? We have no clue of what they might do with Ranger. It'll probably be a bow class, though. I'd be shocked if it isn't a bow class. And that probably won't be good for Savia. Yeah, if they do spears and bows, then yeah, that could be cool for Savia. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Huge question marks on that one. I mean, we can't even guess what Samurai is going to be like. I'm going to guess it's going to have, like, key abilities, kind of like Ninja does, but different. I don't know whether they'll give them dual wield. If Samurai can dual wield swords, that's broken. Like, that will be, that is actual power creep. Like, that's big power creep. If they don't do that, then, I mean, we'll just wait and see, right? There's not even much point in speculating. We have no idea. I never would have guessed Ninja's kit would look like that. They pretty much only kept the insta-kill. Samurai might power creep Lana, possibly. But why not just run Lana and Samurai? Like, the Samurai's going to be good. Iarumas is going to be good, isn't he? 100%. So he's just going to benefit from Lana in your front row. It's very possible as well. Like, I could see them giving Iarumas a buff, an ability which buffs good characters, just like they gave the evil ability to Rinne. And then suddenly, good main character stocks go through the roof. Everyone will be mad that they're neutral. Like, imagine if he gives a buff that's similar to the one that Rinne gives to all adjacent good characters. Suddenly makes good main character on one side, Lana Vale on the other side. Very, very strong. Like, very, very good indeed. Yeah, neutral main character in shambles, indeed. Like, suddenly neutral main character is strictly worse than good, right? We do have a lot of evil legendaries, and it's almost guaranteed Iarumas will be good because of his nature in the light novel. Yeah. Indeed, yeah, yeah. But again, while it's an interesting, like, thought exercise, it is pure speculation. We have absolutely no fucking clue about anything that they might do. They've proven that time and time again. They launched their Steam release on us today. They were just like, oh, by the way, guys, Steam release today. How you feeling about it? Like, we have no idea what's going to happen the next day in this game. It's part of the fun of the game. Having absolutely no future sight in a lot of cases. We probably know more about the collab than we know about anything else that we've ever seen in this game, because it's the only thing they've ever put on social media. Like, more than a day before it comes out. Yeah, we know that we're getting garbage in the Iarumas. We don't know if they're coming together, like adjacent banners. Sorry, parallel banners. Or whether they're going to be consecutive banners. They announced the user policy changes. Which user policy changes were those? Which ones are you talking about specifically, Dark Chaos? Oh, the EU privacy TOS. Yes, I took note of that. I raised an eyebrow at it. I was like, oh, what's this? And I was just like, nah, okay. They announced the policy was going to change with this update. Sure, sure. Yeah, list the companies they sell. Yep. Oh shit, I better cheese this before I forget. Shirking Handmaiden. I never would have guessed that this would have been the response that would have got us the bondmate. It was literally the last one that I chose. It took 4 tries to get the bondmate. Tracking how many steps they took. They really don't want us cheating, and I kind of appreciate that, honestly. I'm not a big fan of the anti-cheat that they're using, but it seems like they want to keep the integrity of the game. And that is very important to them. I think it is very important to their profits. Probably selling our info to Fitbit, I wouldn't be surprised. Probably selling our info to everyone. I just assume that our info is just free real estate at this point. Just goes to everywhere on the internet. If you've ever played a game or anything. Yeah. Almost certainly. It's just the way the world is. There's no real escaping it anymore. It just is what it is. It's not really surprising why. Like, they call them whales for a reason. You know, they really, really, really want to harpoon them. Because that's how you make your money. 85% or something like that of gacha earnings. Whales. It's not about those little purchases, those monthly passes. It's about the whales. It always has been about the whales. For a game like this, I wouldn't be surprised if the number is more than 85%. Because I think the player base is relatively small, but the earnings are relatively high for that player base. So that stands to reason that it's probably whales putting in like large chunks of cash. There's so much to like max in this game. There's so far to go, and you have to wait to get it as well. Probably just cleaning up the shop every single time there's a moment that they can. I bet the whale accounts in this game are insane. There were crappy browser games which blew up because it was graced by some crazy whale. Yeah, I believe it. But, you know, that's what allows us to have a game like this. If it weren't for gachas, this game would never exist. And this game's awesome. You know, like, this is probably the best dungeon crawler that's ever been made, to be honest, because it has repeated content and will provide hundreds, maybe thousands of hours of dungeon crawling, of like varied dungeon crawling. With story, with actual story, with character variation, with a whole heap of customization. It's a pretty dream game for a dungeon crawler. Yeah, it's a gacha second and a dungeon crawler first. It's just the monetization that they needed. And it's kind of funny that we played Sword of Convaleria at basically the same time, because that was almost the same deal, except it was the opposite. It ended up being the opposite very, very quickly, like before it even launched. It was already the opposite. It was a gacha first and an SRPG second, and that was so obvious from the get-go. It's like, here is our story content, it's all squirreled away in this mode that no one wants to play. The gacha is trash, here it is. Sucks. But what can you do? Meanwhile, Dreecom have made it very clear that they want this to be a Wizardry game. They don't want to sacrifice it being a Wizardry game. They don't want to make it easier because people want it to be easier. They want to make it hard. They want to make you suffer. They made the tagline of the game "Savor the risk," and they're not willing to sacrifice that. They want the game to be hard. That picture of Olive face down in the pool of blood, like, they want to make that their thing. And that has clearly worked for them, even though their game has not been advertised. They have incredibly, incredibly good earnings on it. Incredible revenue for such a game with no advertisement at all. Did not conceal their hunger. They certainly did not. They certainly did not. The only way a gacha can make money off people who don't inject money into the gacha itself is by purchasing perpendicular products in the catalogue of IP owner. People playing the Pokemon TCG mobile game for free might invest in real cards. Yeah, interestingly, there are people I've talked to over the last few days who are free to play in this game, but they have spent money on the light novels that are coming out to get the junk piles. Mostly to get the junk piles because they've ordered 3 copies of the junk piles. So almost exactly what you're saying there, Dorkamus, is true in those cases. Like, they're free to play in the game, but they've actually, like, kind of bent the rules of buying the junk pile things outside of it. Yeah, sure. I might like everything about Wizardry except the microtransactions, yeah. I think the Mad Overlord port is very close to this game, but it's obviously much more self-contained and it doesn't have anywhere near the amount of story. So the only reason you would play that over this game is if you don't want to play a live service game or you don't want to play a gacha. Because the Mad Overlord game was good from what I saw of it, but it wasn't really anything groundbreaking. What item can you buy that comes with junk piles and is it still available? Ah, yes. So there is a... Let me see if I can find the link for you, rather than try to explain it. That would be a whole lot better, wouldn't it? One moment. So it is Blade and Bastard 5. I can get you a link. This is a link on Bookwalker. So, note that if you order the actual physical copies of this book, you don't get the code apparently. This is the only way you get the code with the digital version of it. As to what it gives, it's anyone's guess really. It is confirmed to be a junk pile. It's also confirmed to not only... Apparently it might contain gacha items in it, but it's not going to be completely gacha items. So, you know, your mileage may completely vary with it. Each account can redeem it 3 times, indeed, Dark Chaos. I don't know if I'd recommend buying it because I have no idea what's in it. It's anyone's guess. If you feel like a bit of a lottery pull, this is an ebook, the one that I've linked you to, an ebook site, Bookwalker. So you just reserve it, and then when it comes out, they'll charge your card, and you'll get sent the code and the book as well if you want to read the book. Yeah, it's all digital. But again, please don't buy it and then be disappointed. Then come screaming at me if it's bullshit when you get the junk pile. Please be kind and merciful. I'm just a meager broadcaster. I do not know any details about what this thing might really contain, other than it's reported that it might contain some gacha items amongst other non-gacha items. That is all the rumour that I've heard. Yeah, I think the was it the Goblin Slayer guy works on this one? The big Goblin Slayer guy. I'm terrible with names. Splurge away, my man. No shame here. People who want to spend on the game, you can, as long as you can afford to. Go wild. Fill your boots. Overlord Illustrator was. Yeah, that was it. Thank you, Dark Chaos. I forgot about that. They're cool. I've read a little bit of some of these light novels just out of interest, and I didn't really understand what was going on, but it was cool, like cool animation. Not animation, sorry. Cool illustration. And the writing seemed like dark and gritty as you would expect from a Wizardry. But yeah, it's essentially a Wizardry light novel, isn't it? Looks cool. I'm into it. It is here. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. For anyone interested. I reserved 1. I didn't get 3. I got 1. Because I just want to see what's in it. I want to be able to open it on stream and be like, this is what you could have won. Or just keep it in my inventory so we can keep it there forever. We can always look back on the, whatever the fuck it is, blood and bone junk pile. We can keep it as a historical record, maybe. I'll open it by accident at some point, even if I don't mean to. 4 5-star junk pile, yeah, it'll probably have like potentially 5-star stuff in it. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. It's anyone's guess, as with everything else in this game. It's suspiciously cheap, yeah, but you have to go like out of your way to get it, I guess, and it also helps their sales record on their light novels, and it helps to kind of publicize their game and the name of their other franchise and get it out there. I think there's lots of reasons to do that and keep it cheap, because I think if you make it expensive, no one buys it, and you're giving away nothing really. You're just giving away a digital item, right? All about those analytics. Yeah, they're making an anime. It actually looks kind of cool. I don't know if it'll be good. Probably not, but I could see it being kind of cool. I want some good quality Undead Bane weapons in future updates at least. We still need to use low damage weapons for Undead. There's actually already a second set of Undead damage weapons, Mehmet. They are in Third Abyss. You can get them almost at the start of Third Abyss. It's hard to get good quality ones of them, but they're pretty good. They're still pretty good. They deal a lot more damage. They're like higher grade than steel. They're what's the tier called? Is it Dark Steel? That's a Magic the Gathering thing. The tier up from Steel. Ebon Steel, that's the one. Yeah, they deal ever so slightly less damage than Ebon Steel, which is the tier above Steel. They're great weapons, if you can find, especially if you can find a good version of one. So yeah, you just need to get through the game a little bit more, and you should make your way to them, Mehmet. Definitely Dark Chaos. I would love to get a copy of really any usable expulsion weapon. They're really great. I have a good Ebon Steel, but like, it would be so much better if it was an expulsion. There's not really a downside to using the expulsion. It does like literally 1 less damage. Aren't Ebon Steel weapons still reduce their damage to undead? They are, Mehmet, but there's a tier of weapon. Sorry, there's a type of weapon that drops in that tier as well from different junk piles that you can get as early as floor 1, called expulsion weapons, which are Ebon Steel quality, but they have Undead Bane on them as well. So not only are they Ebon Steel weapons, but they also have Undead Bane. They're also like super effective against undead. Hopefully that helps. If you haven't got them already, you'll be able to get them as soon as you can get into Abyss 3, really. But you might struggle to find high quality ones, like good ones. You'll have to suck up using some really weak ones. Which are still good weapons, honestly, because they're such a high tier. Yeah, like anti-type does a lot less damage than anti-elemental. I don't know the exact numbers. At some point I looked it up. I think it's like 30% extra damage for type and 50% for elemental, but now I'm saying it, those numbers sound wrong. It's something like that. So like, the only really important Slayer type is Undead, realistically. Because while the other Slayer types are nice, Undead is turning your disadvantage into an advantage. Elemental gets a bonus from the character using them. It does, but only against enemies that they're super effective against. Oh, which is what we're talking about already. Yeah. Sorry, Dark Chaos. Yeah, it goes from 30... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Elemental goes from 30% to 55% when a character with the same type uses it against an enemy that's weak to it. I think type is always 20%, I want to say. I'm sure the numbers are out there somewhere, probably on the Discord if I search the Discord even once. Type damage modifier. Dead Slayer. Let's try Beast Slayer. That's probably better. Beast Slayer. The number is definitely on the Discord somewhere. Someone works it out. I think it might have been Lone Bird. But I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. It's lower than Elemental base, from what I understand. Anyway, yeah. Undead Slayer's great. Other Slayer weapons are still good if you can get a good version, but probably not worth sacrificing like stats on a weapon for, like a good statted weapon for. Undead Slayer weapons are definitely different. Like, you would probably want to use a bad undead weapon over a very good non-undead weapon against undead. The damage difference is just so huge. Yeah, that's what the expulsion weapons do, Minimat. You already have some, I didn't read what they do! Ah! Well, now you know at least. Now you know. It's a learning stream. Yeah, equip those bad boys up. They will hit so much harder than your bronze tier original Undead Slayer weapons. Crack some skulls with them for us. Ready, set. Thank you so much for following. If you have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. I am more than happy to answer. I love talking about Wizardry. And I hope you're having a good one. Oh, what's this? Ah, you found the scaling. Oh, you found the opening. Happy to see this game getting more love. Me too, man. I was so happy to see the Steam release dropped on us today. I've just been gushing all day over how when I hit buttons, they immediately work. I've been going wild. I can't believe it. I'm actually able to like navigate around monsters. For some reason, yeah, like nobody right now has picked up this game. I'm sure if the Steam release does okay, then some actual content creator will pick up Daphne at least a little bit for a little while. There's Genizad covered it for a while, but I'm not sure if he still is. Genizad is pretty big. Traveling when I saw, it's hopping up and down over it. Yeah, I went crazy on our Discord early this morning, probably like 4 AM in the morning. I was like, look! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I was so excited for it. Yeah, there have been a few various streamers today, which is really good to see. It's very healthy. Very, very happy to see it. Trying to farm ND now. You got no idea how to navigate these levels. So for ND, the ND run is... That's Singing Skeleton. The ND run is warp to 3rd floor, go to bottom left, run to the east. First monster is there. Let me show you on the map.
Safe travel.
This is all purely from memory, so I can't guarantee that this is right. It will be on Faster Thoughts probably already, but I will just go to the map a second and show you what I can remember of it. Jenna's doing a lot of Limbus right now. Yeah, really deep in Limbus, right? That's what I've heard. So you warp to 3.
Be on your guard.
The first one is in here. So you go all the way out here, you go up, and then on the 2nd floor, you have to come over here and go down here. You come back down to 3rd, you run around here, and this is where the first one is. Then you go up here. You go up here, you fall down the hole, which takes you to here. Then fall down the hole, which takes you to there. Oh shit, I don't remember. There's another one that's in this room. There's one in this room, there's one in this room, there's one in... Let's have a look on Faster Thoughts. There's one in that room, there's one in that room, there's one that's like up here, and then there's one that's over here. Yeah, top left up here. And I can't remember what the 4th one is. I think it's... Oof. Don't remember. Bondmates. Bondmate. Quick list. Endy. Where are you, Endy? Endy. It's this request. Location's here. Yeah, so here. Here. Oh, it's only 3. Yeah, it's only 3. That's why I couldn't remember the 4th one. Because there's only 3. Yeah, and it's just like popping up and down the holes. The floor down up here is in the top right hand corner. That's how you get down to here. And then from here you have to run a route of 2 watchers. You'll want to manually path past the 2 watchers to get over to here, because it will take longer to kill the watchers than it will to like auto run through them, having tested it thoroughly. Still use Old Wood Bow with 17 evasion and 18 attack substats on MC. Do you think I should change it? Probably, Mehmet. I would say so. That's just not going to deal very much damage, more than anything. Old Wood is like really low damage, right? Endy is pretty easy to do. Yep, it's just a simple enough grind that takes a little while. It's about 15-20 minutes a run. She's such a good bondmate. If you're going to get a bondmate, you probably want it to be her. She's really good. The Carpenter one is more annoying, yeah. Sticking it to the wrong hole, that's me. You know what I'm like. Can never find the right hole. No worries, ready, set. No worries. Sorry, I do try my best not to spoil things for people, but there are people at all different sorts of points in the game. So it's a little bit hard to avoid sometimes. Thank you for hanging out, and if you do want any questions answered, just feel free to drop in and ask. Hide your eyes, avert your eyes. Just open up chat. Attack stat gets phased out really fast. Yeah. Like, attack stat doesn't keep up with the just damage scaling on the item. That's the main problem with using an old item with high attack stats on it. Some of the other stats can still be really useful. but attack is just going to be outweighed by the new item having way higher base attack. A good example is the new tier of staff, whatever it's called. Is it like fusion staff or something? Over sacred wood staff, like you're better off using a +10 fusion staff over a +20 sacred wood staff. So by the time you get to +15, it almost doesn't really matter what the sacred wood staff has on it, because it's already lower. It's always going to be lower attack stats. You want to know when can you move the brick piles? That's going to be after your first run through the third Ruins story, Mehmet, without spoiling too much. You're going to have to get all the way to the end of the first run before you're going to be able to go back and move those. What has Dark Chaos linked to? What's this? It's a good song.
Hey, champ. Why the long face?
I don't know, Scott Baio. I really screwed up last night.
It's a great song. I'm not going to play it right now. It's past my bedtime. I've stayed up way too long. I need to get food and I need to go to bed. We played so much Wizardry today, and I will probably play about as much tomorrow, although we have like a sort of Convaleria thing at some point in the day. Yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate all the support and everything. It's really, really nice of everyone. I will be back tomorrow, mostly to play Wizardry, although there will be a bit of sort of Convaleria probably mixed in. I hope everyone has a great night. Good luck with anything that you are up to, especially if you're daring to venture into the Third Abyss. The Steam client was amazing today. I really recommend, if you haven't tried it and can use it, that you try it out. It feels so much better than mobile even. It's crazy. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you again. Love you all very much. Bye bye.